This is Atlantic Global News. First, the headlines. NDDC plans to empower Bayelsa youth in aquaculture. Defense headquarters unveils wanted person over security breach. NLC wants INEC not to validate LP National Convention. 31 states to repay CBN 340 billion naira bailout funds. And voters choose new president after political disaster in Senegal. Usman yields for Niger Tornadoes against Shooting Stars. And group advises Lagos coroner on fairness over Mohbad's autopsy.
From the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring on-spot news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today. Only.
Now the rest of the news. Agenda Development Commission says it will collaborate with the Bayelsa State Government to train youth in aquaculture at the multi-million naira Bayelsa Aquaculture Village in Yenegua local government area of the state. The NDDC Executive Director of Project, Victor Antai, disclosed days when he visited the Bayelsa State-owned aquaculture farm, accompanied by the NDDC Director of Agric and Fisheries, Mrs. Winifred Madume, Director of Procurement, Dr. Wick Dode, and other directors of the Commission. A statement issued in Port Harcourt by the NDDC Director of Corporate Affairs, Pius Ubapoteni, the NDDC Holistic Opportunities Project and Engagement Program has agriculture as its key component. Traditional rulers in Delta State have pledged to assist security agencies in smoking out killers of military officers in Okwama community in Delta State. The monarchs described the killings as unprovoked and barbaric, which led to the death of the officers on rescue missions. Rising from a meeting of the Delta State Council of Traditional Rulers in Asaba, the monarchs, in a 5-point communique issued at the end of the meeting, condemned the killings. Council Chairman and the Ology of Okwe, Major General Felix Mujakwero, retired, or A1, while commiserating with the immediate families of the slain officers, Nigerian Army and the Federal Republic of Nigeria, prayed that God grant their souls eternal rest. The Delta monarchs called on the Delta State government to set up an independent investigative panel of inquiry to ascertain the immediate and remote cause of the communal crisis between Okwama and Okoloba communities, and also appeal to the Nigerian Army to carry out a search for the perpetrators of the killing of the Grand officers in line with global best practices. They call on members of the public to stop peddling falsehood and substantiated claims, as such action could further establish the already fragile peace in the state. Abia State Governor Alex Oti says the state's $400 billion loan should be reduced to the barest minimum to enable the state government use the state internally generated revenue to gradually refund the loan. Oti, who disclosed this at a special presentation of the outcome of the state's two-day retreat for IGR stakeholders in ministries and departments in the state, also charged the participants to craft an enduring strategy that will lead to improvement in the state IGR to make state physically viable. He said in other climes, the government-generated income used to run the economy, while it was a misnomer for substantiated to go to the center cap in hand for allocation. 2 policemen attached to Mupo 18 Owerri, Imo State, were killed by gunmen in the Okigwe area of the state. Police said the government suspected to be members of the proscribed indigenous peoples of Biafra and its affiliate, Eastern Security Network, threw dynamite at the police patrol vehicle and engaged the policemen in a gunfight along Old Geriki Road. And during the exchange of gunfire, 4 other policemen sustained multiple injuries during the incident. The police spokesman, Henry Okoye, who confirmed the incident, said 2 officers paid the ultimate price, while 4 others survived the attack. Okoye said the Commissioner of Police, Aboki Danjuma, condemned the attack, while the Commissioner and the Commander, Mupo 18 and 64, they led men of the Command Special Tactical Unit to the crime scene for an on-the-spot assessment. Enugu State Government, Peter Mba, says its administration will generate and distribute electricity in the state by the end of 2026. Mba, who disclosed the plans of his government to tackle the challenges of electric power supply to businesses and residents of the state and a town hall meeting with various stakeholders, said administration will tackle all legal and regulatory issues in actualizing the objective. He also said the ongoing legacy project is aimed at repositioning the educational sector. 8 students of David Umahi Federal University of Health Sciences, Uburu in Ebonyi State, has been expelled from the institution, while 23 others are facing disciplinary actions for breaching the institution's moral guidelines. The Vice Chancellor of the institution, Professor Jesse Uneke, who disclosed this during the 3rd matriculation ceremony 2023-2024 academic session, spoke extensively on the vision of the institution to raise quality graduates, adding that the university maintains very strict discipline. The VC commended President Bola Tinubu, the state governor Francis Nwufuru, the father of the institution, who is now the Minister of Work, David Umahi, and the host community for their support. Meanwhile, the university matriculated over 800 students in 14 various departments and awarded cash gifts to the best performing students. The People's Democratic Party in Osun State says it will arrest 25 state officials listed for unofficial arrest and abduction by special security teams from Abuja. A release signed by the Osun PDP chairman Sunday Bisi said the security team will carry out the arrest plan to commence work in the new week without a warrant of arrest. The PDP chairman called on the Police Service Commission and the Department of State Services to avoid political partisanship and eschew becoming an instrument of political vendetta and vengeance in the hands of those seeking pounds of flesh because they lost a free and fair governorship election. Corresponding in another statement, Osun APC chairman Tajuddin Lawal described PDP allegations as baseless and a mere fabrication to avoid answering pertinent questions regarding the contract procurement process supervised by their delicate government. Lawal stated that operation exercised by the Osun PDP was part of the plot to mystify the issues surrounding how the government of Osun recently awarded over 50 billion naira road contract to unqualified companies and cronies of the party with no technical and professional competence to execute road project. Osun State government has inaugurated a Cybercrime Action Committee to give effect to relevant provisions of the law with respect to cybercrimes, cyberbullying, and deliberate online false news. A statement by the Commissioner for Information and Public Engagement, Kolakbo Alimi, said the move was meant to tackle the prevalence of fake news in Osun State, adding that the step became necessary to sanitize the governance space and ensure that politics and governance take place under an atmosphere of responsibility, decency, and honesty. The development was coming on the heels of war words on the social media platform between supporters of the ruling People's Democratic Party and the opposition All Progressive Congress on issues relating to governance in the state. While the exchanges often degenerate to name-calling among members of the two parties, the commissioner also said the increasing wave of fake news negatively affect both the government and the opposition, stressing that the time has come that all operators be brought with the compass of the law. 6 suspected cultists have been arrested in Ipetu-Jesha, Osun State, while traveling to the south-south part of the country. Police said the suspects were in process of boarding a vehicle in Ipetu-Jesha going to Ileoluji, from where they intended to join another one that would take them to Delta State. when some Eagle Eye residents that were suspicious of their movement informed police operatives from the anti-cultism unit of the Osun State Police Command. The police also said arms and ammunition were recovered from the suspect after the operatives swapped on them before they left the premises of the motor park. While the vehicle they wanted to board was headed to Ileluji on those states, people around were suspicious of them and they informed the police. Executive Secretary of the State Forestry Commission, Sunday Adekunle, says the commission is raising 60,000 tree seedlings to fight deforestation as part of the effort to boost plantation farming and fight deforestation in the state. Adekunle said the seedling of various species will be sold to interested members of the public at subsidized rate and also planted at the degraded parts of the forest reserves in the state, adding that the rate of deforestation and climate change-driven wildfire resulting in loss of about 10 million hectares of forest yearly globally was worrisome and unacceptable. Adekunle will disclose this in Ado-Ekiti at an event with the theme Forest and Innovation, New Solution for a Better World to mark the 2024 International Day of Forest, said no stone will be left unturned in the bid to end deforestation and illegal activities in Ekiti State, and commended the Ekiti State Governor, Biodun Oyebanji, for taking the bold step to address the ugly trend in deforestation and illegal activities of some unscrupulous loggers. Defense Headquarters says troop has rescued the abducted pupils and teachers of LEA School, Kuriga, in the Chikun local government area of Kaduna State within Zamfara State. This is coming after on March 7, 2024, about 287 pupils and teachers of the school were abducted by suspected terrorists who took them into the forest, and the abductors subsequently recorded a ransom of 1 billion naira for their release, setting a deadline of March 27, 2024 for the payment. But the director of Defense Media Operations, Major General Edward Buba, in a statement said the victims were rescued in the early hours of Sunday by the troops with support from local authorities and government agencies, adding that they will be conveyed to Kaduna where they will be handed over to the state government. The rescued hostages, totally 137, comprised of 76 females and 61 males, were rescued in Zamfara State and will be conveyed and handed over to the Kaduna State government for further action. And the rescue of the Kaduna pupils is coming a day after troops rescued 16 pupils at Majuris with a woman taken hostage in Ghana local government area of Sokoto State. Suspected bandits have allegedly killed a politician simply identified as Alhaji Lado in Meruwa village, Faskari local government area of Katsina State. Eyewitness said the attack occurred in the village mosque while worshippers were observing Ramadan prayers, adding that the victim was killed when he refused to take orders from his murderers. One of the survivors of the mosque attack said the attackers kidnapped the wife and 2 daughters of Alhaji Lado, adding that Katsina is one of the worst hit states by bandits, and any attempt to keep the criminals in check have not yielded the desired result. The Katsina State Police Command is yet to react to the unfortunate development. Defense Headquarters says troops of Operation Hadrin Daji have rescued 16 Almajiris and a woman abducted in Gada local government area of Sokoto State. This is coming after some terrorists had invaded the local government area on March 9, 2024 and kidnapped the rescued victims. A statement by the Director of Media Operations, Major General Buba Edward, said the troops with local authorities and government agencies will work together to ensure the freedom of the hostages. Police in Bauchi State have arrested 3 suspects for allegedly criminal conspiracy, threat to life, criminal intimidation, and attempted kidnapping. SP Ahmed Wakil, spokesman of the command, who disclosed this in a statement in Bauchi, said the command in its fight against kidnapping and other heinous crimes continue to yield positive results. According to the police, the caller threatened to mobilize his gang to kidnap either Yahaya specifically or his family members, while the Commissioner of Police, Mr. Awal Musa, after a hint, directed the Criminal Investigation Department to discreetly investigate the circumstances surrounding the report. The spokesman said interrogation was conducted with the suspect who allegedly voluntarily confessed to the criminal act, adding that they will be charged to court for prosecution. Stampede during an almsgiving zakat for the poor in Bauchi State has led to the death of 4 people. The stampede occurred at the Shafa Holdings Company PLC headquarters along Jos Road, and 17-year-old identified as Namai Abdullahi is currently receiving medical treatment at the Bukatafawa Balewa University Hospital in Bauchi. Confirming the incident, the public officer relation in the state, Ahmed Wakil, said the situation has been stabilized while the police acted swiftly, and the police commissioner has urged the public to stay composed and law-abiding. The Kano State Governor, Abba Yusuf, says its administration allocated only 1.97 billion naira and not 6 billion naira for the Ramadan feeding program. The governor, who disclosed this in a statement on his X handle, said the actual amount for the program is a sum of 1.97 billion naira for the whole month. He expressed its disappointment during an unscheduled inspection of a feeding center in Gidamaza municipal local government area and criticized the program handlers for what he perceived as their failure to adequately serve the intended beneficiaries. Several people were feared dead in a clash between rival youth in Mikan local government area of Plateau State. The clash started on Saturday night between Taro and Matola youth in the locality and lasted till the early hours of Sunday. The State Commissioner for Information, Musa Ashoms, who confirmed the development in Jos, blamed the situation on disputed land in the area, which escalated to the point that people lost their lives, while other persons are receiving treatment at the hospital. He advised the people to always explore alternative dispute resolution mechanism in resolving their differences and refrain from taking the law into their hands. While the State Public Police Relations Officer, Alabo Alfred, said security operatives have been deployed to the troubled area, while investigation over the incident continues. The defense headquarters says it will place the banner containing the names and pictures of the people wanted in strategic locations across the country. This is coming after the defense headquarters had earlier declared wanted no fewer than 97 persons, including terrorists and insurgents, among others, for allegedly being behind the violent crimes in the country. Among those declared wanted is the Finland-based Simon Ekpa, who is a factional leader of the individual people of Biafra and also the self-acclaimed Prime Minister of the Biafra Republic government in exile, adding that the IPOB factional leader has consistently called for a seat at home in the southeast and often makes statements considered as inciting against the government and military personnel. The Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, while appearing before the House of Representatives in November 2023, had described Ekpa as a menace to Nigeria. The Director of Defense Media Operations, Major General Edward Buba, said the names and pictures of the people who declared wanted were those of suspected terrorists in the northeast and northwest, as well as insurgents in the southeast and the north central. The statement also said 43 persons were declared wanted in the northwest, 33 persons for the northeast ravaged by Boko Haram and Islamic State for West African province terrorists, while 21 insurgents and violent criminals were declared wanted in the southeast and the north central region. The indigenous people of Biafra has faulted the Nigerian military authorities for declaring its head of the Directorate of State, Chika Edoziem, wanted, alongside other bandits and terrorists. The pro-Biafran group said the man for Edoziem with other bandits and terrorists is an insult to the IPOB global family. A statement issued by IPOB spokesman Emma Powerful said they will not be intimidated by any blackmail from the federal government in their self-determination movement to restore the Biafran nation, adding that linking Simon Ekpa, Zuma, Temple, and others to their gentle leader, Mazi Chika Edoziem, is a totally reckless attitude of the Nigerian military headquarters. The group also said Edoziem has not been associated with any crime or violence, neither in Biafran land nor in the diaspora, and further challenged the federal government to explain what crime Edoziem committed to be declared wanted. 2023 presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party, Atiku Abubakar, has called for an overhaul of the country's security architecture to counter insecurity ravaging the country. Atiku disclosed this in his posting on X, called for the overhaul of the security architecture to meet the demands of the threat facing Nigerians in reaction to the release of student kidnapped in Kuriga in Kaduna State. He said it's elated at the news of the release of the 287 abducted children in Kaduna after 16 days in captivity and commended all those who worked tirelessly to make their release a reality. In his word, Atiku stated that as we celebrate with their families and friends, let's be mindful like stage 4 cancer, this state of insecurity has befallen our nation needs proactive measures to stem it. I can only imagine the trauma that these vulnerable children have suffered. It is recommended that the children receive care from professionals. We also do not need to wait for the next incident before putting mechanism in place to forestall it. To this end, I recommend a strengthening of the Safe School initiative that prioritizes the protection of schools, especially in the areas that are most vulnerable to mass kidnapping of school children. But above all, there should be an overhaul of the security architecture to meet the demands of the threat facing us. The Nigerian Labour Congress has warned the Independent National Electoral Commission not to validate the Labour Party National Conventions scheduled for March 27, 2024. NLC issued a cautionary letter addressed to the chairman of INEC, Mahmoud Yakubu, while the letter by the NLC solicitors, Falana and Falana chambers, dated March 22, 2024, the NLC accused the Labour Party chairman, Laburi, and his associated of planning an illegal convention in defense of court orders, adding that such a national convention was illegal due to standing court rulings that declared the Labour Party status and other inconclusive convention. The NLC, in the letter signed by Marshal Abubakar, threatened legal action if INEC failed to comply with the demands, stressing that INEC should restrain officials of the Commission from undermining the due administration of justice and respect for the rule of law by attending the illegal convention. Socio-Economic Right and Accountability Project has advised President Bola Tinubu to stop the payment of pensions to former governors and their deputies. This is coming after 2017 Sarah filed in the suit seeking the repeal of the pensions for former governors and their deputies across all states of the Federation. While 2019, Justice Oluremi Oguntoyibo of the Federal High Court in Ikoyi, Lagos State, ordered the federal government to recover pensions collected by former governors serving as ministers and members of the National Assembly. The ruling Serap said was brutally torn down by former President Muhammadu Buhari-led administration, where the organization stated in a letter dated March 23rd and signed by the Deputy Director, Kolawole Oluwadare, asked President Bola Tinubu to follow the footsteps of Abia State Governor, Alex Oti. In his statement, Serap urged Tinubu to emulate the good example of Governor Alex Oti of Abia State by immediately obeying the judgment ordering the federal government to recover pensions collected by former governors and to challenge the legality of state pension laws permitting those involved to collect such outrageous pensions. President Christian Association of Nigeria, Daniel Oko, has urged Christians to be beacons of hope and agents of change despite the situation in the country. In the spirit of the Palm Sunday celebration, the camp president disclosed the plea in a message to Christians on Sunday and urged them to emulate the virtue of unity as exemplified by Christ, stressing that Palm Sunday is a Christian feast celebrated on the last Sunday before Easter to commemorate the triumphal entry of Jesus Christ into Jerusalem, as contained in the biblical account of the four Gospels. Oko also called on Nigerians to set aside their differences, prejudice, and grievances, like the people of Jerusalem in the biblical account, to foster harmony, reconciliation, and understanding, and that in times of adversity, love can conquer all. The camp president refreshed Christians to be beacons of hope and agents of positive change in their communities, while extending the hand of fellowship friendship to our neighbors, showing kindness to the marginalized and upholding justice for the oppressed. The presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, has urged Nigerians to use the final stretch of the Lenten season to seek divine intervention for the country. His message was contained in a series of posts on his X account, said, "The week-long activities of the Holy Week mark the deep remembrance of the passion, death, and resurrection of our Lord Jesus Christ, which is the core of the Christian faith," stressing that since February 14, 2024, when the Lenten season started, Christians have continued to fast, pray, and show brotherly love to one another through almsgiving to the poor. Peter Obi also urged Nigerians to use the final stretch of the Lenten season to seek divine intervention for the country, adding that the activities of the Holy Week present us the opportunity to soberly reflect on the many challenges facing people individually and collectively as a nation, to ask for God's divine intervention. The Joint Action Committee on the Senior Staff Association of Nigerian Universities, Non-Academic Staff Union of Educational Associated Institutions, National Association of Academic Technologies of the University, say they will end the ongoing 7-day and 3-day warning strike by midnight Sunday, respectively. This is coming after JAC of SANU and NASU had for about a month called the attention of the government to its exclusion from the payment of the withheld salaries, which it commenced payment for the Academic Staff Union of Universities in February. Their salaries were withheld when the administration of former President Muhammadu Buhari invoked a no-work, no-pay policy against ASU, SWANU, and NATS, who embarked on a strike that lasted 8 months, 4 months, and 5.5 months, respectively, in 2022. While NAT also joined and began a 3-day warning strike on Wednesday, National President Jack of SWANU and NASU, Mohammed Ibrahim, explained that all the unions will resume on Monday, while lamenting that the government is yet to respond to the union's demand, adding that the federal government has not paid the non-teaching staff and will meet with the National Executive Council to decide the next line of action. You are watching the Global News on Atlantic Television Network. We'll be back after this break.
From the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring all sport news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today, only on ATN.
People into the country illegally. That is amazing.
Honorable
You human
On the point of order.
Honorable they are not picking our calls. They made up their minds.
So no agreement with the EU, but
Welcome back. This is the Global News on Atlantic Television Network. Now to the rest of our stories. 31 state governments are expected to refund the Central Bank of Nigeria a total of 340 billion naira to pay workers' salaries between 2015 and 2023. The document also stated that the subnationals could not pay the outstanding and that the loan default of 1.31 billion naira as of September 2023. The fund, which was facilitated through the salary bailout facility, strategic intervention by the CBN aimed at alleviating the fiscal pressures faced by the state, was part of the over 10.3 trillion naira intervention fund provided by the Apex Bank under the immediate former CBN governor, Godwin Emefiele. In contrast, the current governor, Olayemi Cardoso, stopped the program, stressing that the Apex Bank could not continue to fund more intervention programs amidst the current economic crisis. The program, which has been closed according to the status report, involved key stakeholders such as the benefiting state government, deposit money banks, the Federal Minister of Finance, and the Accountant General of the Federation, all of whom played pivotal roles in implementing and managing the bailout package. The development also means that the respective wage bills of their federal states surpass their various internally generated revenues, raising concern about workers' productivity and state government efficiency in internal revenue generation. 24 states include Bayelsa, Ondo, Yobe, Sokoto, Taraba, Plateau, Oyo, Niger, Nasarawa, Kogi, Kebbi, Katsina, Jigawa, Gombe, Ekiti, Emoyi, and Borno, while others are Benue, Bauchi, Adamawa, Akwa Ibom, Cross River, Abia, and Delta State. The prices of Brent crude price oil have dropped at the international market from $87.61 to $85.61. Nigerian Brass River and Akwa Ibom have both reduced in price to $89.26. But the downward trend in the prices of crude oil in the global oil market was blamed on weaker United States gasoline demand data and reports of a United Nations draft resolution calling for a ceasefire in Gaza, and true gasoline inventories fell for a 7-week from 3.3 million barrels to 230.8 million gasoline products supplied. A proxy for product demand slipped below 9 million barrels. All prices were also pressured by the confirmation that the U.S. drafted a United Nations resolution calling for a ceasefire that will allow the release of 40 Israeli hostages a return for hundreds of Palestinians detained in Israeli jails. You're still watching the news on Atlantic Television Network. Up next, international tidbits. The people in Senegal are voting for a new president. After weeks of political fighting, 17 candidates are on the ballot, each hoping to replace President Macky Sall, who is barred from running again after reaching the 2-term limit. This is coming after the election has been due to take place last month, but Mr. Sall postponed it, while triggering deadly opposition protests and democratic crisis. Senegal had until then been praised as a bastion of democracy in West Africa, and 7 million people are eligible to vote in Sunday's election. Among those in the running for Senegal's top job is the governing BBY coalition candidate, former Prime Minister Amadou Ba. His strongest challenger is seen as Bassirou Diomaye Faye, who was released from jail just last week after being detained since April 2023 on charges of insurrection, which he said were politically motivated. Results are expected within days, and a second round is likely because of the large number of contestants. A candidate needs more than 50% of the vote to be declared the winner. Ukraine said it has knocked out 2 landing ships, a communication center, and other infrastructure used by Russian Black Sea Fleet off annexed Crimea. Ukrainian General Staff said the Yamal and Azov ship have been destroyed, while the Russian installed governor of the port of Sevastopol said 10 Ukrainian missiles have been shot down. Russia also launched a missile and drone attack on the capital, Kyiv, and the region of Lviv, and Kyiv residents took shelter in metro stations as the attack began. Officials said their defenses had shot down 18 Russian missiles and 25 drones with only minor damage, while about 20 Russian missiles and 7 drones targeted critical infrastructure in the western region of Lviv, and no damage has been reported. Russian President Vladimir Putin says the Friday concert attack is a barbaric act of terrorism and has vowed to punish the perpetrators. He also accused Ukraine of preparing a window to help the suspect escape, while Kyiv has staunchly denied any role in the attack. Eyewitness said suspected gunmen in camouflage clothing opened fire on people at a concert in the Krakow City Hall near Moscow, and did not definitely pin the attack on Ukraine, but referred to the assessment by American officials that a branch of the Islamic State was behind it. Ukrainian officials have reportedly denied having anything to do with the attack. American officials have said there is no evidence of Ukrainian involvement. Meanwhile, Russia has arrested 11 people, including all 4 gunmen suspected of carrying out the attack. Pope Francis sent prayers to the victims of the concert hall attack in Moscow, calling the violence inhuman acts that offended God. The pontiff presided over Palm Sunday Mass in front of a crowd. The Vatican estimated at 25,000 people, but spoke in a weak, floundery voice and did not deliver his homily as planned, but appeared in good spirit following Mass, however, circling the piazza, smiling and waving at the crowd from his vehicle. Francis has suffered a number of health issues in recent years, from knee and hip pain to an inflamed colon and hernia surgery last year. Sunday liturgical celebration marked the start of the Holy Week, in which the Pope presided over a series of important events leading up to Easter, Christianity's most important holiday. And here now is ATN Sport News. Bashir Usman is set to make a return to Niger Tornadoes in their Nigerian Premier Football League Match Day 27 tie against Shooting Stars. The Ford has missed Niger Tornadoes' last 3 games due to a knee injury, while Usman's return is expected to boost the club fight against relegation. The young star is Tornado's top scorer with 6 goals this season, and Niger Tornadoes will battle against the Oluyole Warriors at the Ahmadu Bello Stadium in Kaduna on Monday. The Iko Alabos secured a 2-0 win against Shooting Stars in the previous meeting in 2022, while Martins Usule and Munir Idris scored for the Mina side in the game. Niger Tornadoes interim coach Majin Mohammed has demanded victory from his players at the Match Day 27 tie against Shooting Stars. Mohammed said his team can't afford to drop more points considering their position on the Nigerian Premier Football League table, and all these players to be mentally, physically and psychologically ready to secure maximum points in the game. While Niger Tornadoes are currently hovering around the relegation zone, they will be battling with Shooting Stars at the Ahmadu Bello Stadium on Monday. Moses Trehan and Shaw Command are unsure of Lobby Stars Match Day 27 fixture against Bayelsa United. Both players are nursing different degree of injuries, and Teshuan and Kamaga have played crucial roles in the team's fight for title this season. Lobby Stars currently occupy the first position on the EPF table with 46 points from 27 games. Former Manchester City midfielder Joey Burton says he wants the sack of England football manager Gareth Southgate. This comes after the 3 Lions were defeated 1-0 in a friendly tie against Brazil, adding that if England wants to win any trophy amid the upcoming Euro 2024 in Germany, then Southgate has to go. Southgate will now hope his team will bounce back from their defeat when they face Belgium in their next friendly game. And now, entertainment news. Gratefulness moves God's hand to do more is responsible for my upliftment. Minority Leader, House of Representatives, Honorable Ogundu Kingsley Chinda, made the remarks at a Thanksgiving service to celebrate his 58th birthday anniversary. Electoral victory at the polls and subsequent election as a minority leader. An investiture as Grand Patron of the Boys Brigade, Obiakpo Council, on Sunday 24th March 2024 at St. Mark Anglican Church, Elelewo, Port Harcourt. Honorable Chinda stated that he is thanking God for the gift of life. His political progression was attributed to his leader, Chief Nyesom Wike, FCT Minister and former governor of the state. Minority Leader admonished politicians to be grateful and selfless.
My very dear colleagues from the National Assembly, the Senator and members of House of Reps, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, let me say that I do not have any reason not to thank God. I have countless reasons why I should continue to thank God. Time will not permit me to take you on a historical excursion to my background. Perhaps you will understand better. But let me say, thank you, Lord, for everything you have done. Let me also say that whilst we thank God, I said so in church, but I will keep saying it. God does not come down himself. God will bless you through people. And one thing you must know is that we are created, all of us, we are created not for our own selfish interest, but to add joy and happiness to the life of others. And so when anybody or anything adds joy or happiness to your own life, the best you can do is to show gratitude for that. I asked a question in church. I said, who? If I ask you, and even here I know it's the same answer, who can I pinpoint as the person who has added joy and happiness to my own life? And we all know the person. His Excellency Ezewonye Somwike and his wife. So I will say again, Your Excellency, I am very grateful, myself, my family, Elelewa community, Obiabo, and indeed River State. We are grateful to you. Aside that, I will also express my gratitude to the community. Elelewa has been wonderful. I don't believe in reincarnation. But if reincarnation exists, everybody here present, I will want to come from Elelewa again. I was elected to represent Obiabo in the 7th Assembly. After that, I did not expect I would go back to House of Reps. For he made it possible. After the second term, I forgot about third term. But again, he stood by me and said, look, I would want to finish with you. And we went back, and because of his presence, the people of Obiabo accepted. It is not my popularity. For this term, all of us that are leaders, we are also aware of what happened. The only thing I will say, let me not take much time because I have a lot, but the only thing I will say is that I stand to reassure the people of Obiabo Federal Constituency in particular, and indeed the entire state, that I will never fail you.
Delivering the sermon, Venerable Azubike Ugoha urged people to be steadfast and resilient.
What is Thanksgiving? Professor Alexander Walker, one of the foremost English experts, who is the author of New Webster International Dictionary Encyclopedic Edition, defined the Thanksgiving in 4 ways. He said, number 1, Thanksgiving is the act of giving thanks to God. Number 2, Thanksgiving is the expression of gratitude to Him or to somebody that helped you to come up in life. It's not only to God. God uses men to put you where you are. There is no self-made man. What you are, where you are, somebody helped you to be there. And when you forget it, you are biting the finger that fed you. So as you thank God, you also appreciate those who supported you. Even your driver should be appreciated. If he decides to arrange for your kidnapping, you will be kidnapped. You will be in the kidnapper's den. You don't know when the election ended. Appreciate your coup. If he collects money and poison your food, you'll be like Tunde Idiamo who drank the tea and died.
In his remark, the FCT Minister, Chief Nyesom Wike, stated that OK Chinda is a consistent and grateful person whom he will always support, unlike ungrateful individuals who pretend.
Coming out to make this occasion of birthday and reception of a illustrious son, a dependable son, a consistent person. And I plead with the Speaker, all the Assembly people, everybody here, to remain and give support to what our brother is doing. OK Chinda has merely said how he worked with me and how God has blessed him through me. God bless you because God knows you are a grateful person. Because God knows you are a straightforward person. Because God knows you are a consistent person. So many people find excuses to do whatever they want to do. I am proud to come from Obilako.
As you see us, you will pay them.
You can see those of us who are really from Obilako. I know there's so many people who are not from Obilako who claim they are from Obilako. But our characters will know them.
Human rights group known as International Observers in the Pursuit of Justice has called on the Chief Coroner of Lagos State, Adedaya Shotobi, not to be biased in the ongoing inquest into the death of late singer Oladimeji Aloba, popularly known as Mohbad. A statement by its chairperson Victoria Jeweleski, the group raised concern over how Mohbad's case is being handled and further call for equity, fairness and justice in the matter, adding that every witness should be called and allowed to tell their side of the story without any fear or intimidation, stressing that such witnesses should be protected and high security provided to ensure their lives are safe under the Witness Protection Act. This is coming after Mohbad died on September 12, 2023 at the age of 27 in Lagos State. Nollywood actor and singer Ayola has narrated his suicide attempt. He said he became depressed and contemplated suicide because he wasn't prepared to be a father, so he decided to end it all. Ayola also said, looking at his son now, he regretted his action. And that's the global news for tonight. Before we go, another look at the major stories. NDDC plans to empower Bayelsa youth in aquaculture. Defense headquarters unveils wanted person over security breach. NLC wants INEC not to validate LP National Convention. 31 states to repay CBN 340 billion bailout funds. Voters choose new president after political disaster in Senegal. Usman yields for Niger Tornadoes against Shooting Stars. And group advises Lagos coroner on fairness over Mohbad's autopsy. I am Treasure Timidare. Thank you for watching. You can follow us on all our social media platforms. On X is at Atlantic TV Net, and on Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic Television Network. On Instagram, Atlantic TV Network. Remember that peace and unity are the pathways to progress. A very good evening to you.
From the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring all sport news live and